This video is part of the Preparatory Materials for the Design Approaches to Research, Tools and Techniques project. The first topic for this series is Design Research Intro, a process overview. We hope this video will help our non-designer coworkers to understand the varied approaches to problem identification and problem solving that designers and design researchers often use in their work. The easiest way to tell you what design research is to tell you what design research is not. Despite what you may have heard, design research is not just brainstorming with Post-it notes. It is not a solution-driven process. Design research is not random, nor do designers or design researchers possess magic pixie dust. So, what exactly is design research? Take a moment and think about it. Try to come up with your own definition of it. First and foremost, design research is user-centered. Design research is a broad term for the process that designers and design researchers use to better understand the underlying needs and the challenges of end users. The process of design research includes problem finding, problem framing, reframing, and problem solving. The goal of the design research process is to drive more innovative ideas. Unlike more traditional forms of research, for example, scientific approach to research, analytic research, design research, at least in its early phases, is not about assessing a hypothesis or finding a solution. It is about having an open conversation with people in an attempt to further understand them. It is about problem finding, understanding motivations, telling stories, uncovering delightful moments and unmet needs, and most importantly, having a genuine curiosity about how others experience the world. In essence, design research begins with the skill of observing what people say and do, then inferring what they think and feel. So we can say, without users, it is not design research. The process of user research requires deep immersion into the topic. It often involves observation, interview, and analysis as part of the process. By engaging our users as experts, we can uncover new opportunities areas that more directly meet their needs. While design research can be amorphous, ambiguous, and at times frustrating, this more winding path is often filled with surprising findings, new perspectives, and rewarding insights, ultimately reducing the risk of designing the wrong solution and creating room for innovative user-centered solutions. A key value proposition design research offers to businesses and other organizations is that through design research, a project's risk can be mitigated by identifying potential problems early in the process, where failures isn't expensive as opposed to later, when costs to correct can be considerable. This is where designers and design researchers can play a very critical role in helping to facilitate the process. Designers and design researchers are educated in a wide variety of knowledge and skills that allow them to understand, collaborate, and communicate with other disciplines and professionals. There's so much misunderstanding or confusion about design research, because too often it gets reduced to a few simple steps without understanding the philosophy behind it. As a result, when people or organizations don't have the outcomes they are expecting the first time they try it, they conclude that design research doesn't work. Design research requires people to invest the time and effort to do it correctly and properly, to integrate it into their culture. It is critical that everyone on the team understand the design research process. It is not about designers and non-designers. It is about sharing these ideas with our coworkers and stakeholders to create truly innovative solutions. Design research approach and process can be used by anyone to tackle the challenges they might encounter. Since designers naturally like to communicate visually, there are many graphics depictions of design research process used by a number of organizations and institutions around the world. Before we get into the details, take a moment to look at the graphics. What do they have in common? And what are the differences among these depictions? This is part of the Human-Centered Design, HCD Design Kit model by IDEO.org. This model is often used with self-guided teaching. It provides the phase descriptions and the prompt questions. This is the loop model from IBM. It's hard to be a more accurate representation of the continuous aspects of the design research process than using an infinity symbol. This is a human-centered design process that is also demonstrated by IDEO. This is a graphic depiction of the design thinking innovation process that helps to implement concrete concepts. Design concepts framework for innovation is very easy to draw and highly memorable. Nielsen-Norman Group's depiction showcases the iteration process of design research. It is often necessary to do the same activities within the phase multiple times to arrive at the outcome needed to move forward. This is our adaptation of the double diamond model of design. It is the model that the design team is using across all of our activities and offerings. It shows how the design process has two distinct activities. First, finding the right problem to address through background research. And then, using those findings and subsequent problem statements to drive the design and development of an appropriate solution to that problem. Within this iterative design development process, a designer needs to be able to alternate between divergent and convergent thinking to arrive at a solution. Based on the double diamond model of design research starts with finding the general problems of the people you are designing for, and ends with design solutions that are tailored to suit their needs. The first diamond is all about background research and understanding problems. You should not be guessing what problems are without any data. Even if you have a hunch that something is a problem, you need to validate by conducting the research. When you synthesize your data into research findings and understand what the gaps, problems, and opportunities are, now we need to converge to one problem to focus on. There may have been an overwhelmingly obvious problem to focus on, or you may need to do some more research to identify the problem. Don't try to design anything at this point. At the end of the first diamond, you should have a solid understanding of the specific problem you are trying to solve, why, and in what context. Now, you are ready to explore how you might solve this problem. The first half of the second diamond is where we ideate, which may sound confusing, because ideating here is not about starting to come up with solutions. It is about developing ideas. Divergent thinking pushes designers to suspend judgment and let their imagination run wild, thinking as broadly and as abstractly as possible, and combining rational and irrational ideas into new concepts. This is the core intent behind ideation. Once the ideation phase is complete, those ideas need to be sorted, evaluated, and narrowed down for further development of prototyping and testing based on the design criteria generated from the user research insights. In subsequent iteration cycles, those selected concepts can be the jumping-off point for another round of ideation and brainstorming using divergent thinking, and so on. That's it for Design Research Intro, a process overview. Feel free to reach out to the design team for any questions. Coming up next, we will be introducing the second topic for our Preparatory Materials Series, Design Critique.